Chosen one. Certain people cannot believe the accuracy of the truth you have uncovered. Jaws to floor, disbelief everywhere. You exposed something they swore would stay hidden forever. Expect someone to message you soon. It might come from a fake account, a burner, or an unknown number. This person already tried once, but the message bounced back. Blocked, denied, shut out. What's coming is not love or closure. It's panic disguised as curiosity. When that message comes, remember, it's not a test. It's confirmation that your silence, boundaries, and growth were the loudest answers of all. You spoke the truth somewhere, maybe in your creative work, maybe in casual conversation, maybe just in how you carry yourself now. But something you expressed hit so hard that people around this person started seeing clearly. The illusion cracked. Awareness flooded in where there was only fog before. Realize, real lies. That's what happened. People who were close to this individual suddenly recognized patterns of behavior worth examining, patterns worth questioning, patterns worth naming. And it all started because you spoke your truth without mentioning names, without pointing fingers, without launching campaigns. You just told your story, your experience, your healing journey, and people who knew both of you started connecting dots, refused before. This is what's making this person lose composure right now. The shift can be felt. People are looking differently. Friends aren't responding the same way. Family members are asking different questions. The support system built on twisted narratives is showing cracks, and the reason is known. The accuracy of something you said has left this person speechless, but the desire isn't to have a conversation with you. The desire is to have a conversation about you with anyone who will engage. The goal is damage control. The goal is reframing what you revealed. The goal is convincing people that you're wrong, bitter, lying, obsessed. But here's the problem being faced. Everything you said is verifiable through current behavior. You described a pattern. That exact pattern is currently being displayed with new people. You spoke about emotional unavailability. Emotional unavailability is currently on display in relationships right now. You mentioned manipulation tactics. Those same tactics are currently being used and people are recognizing them. It's like when someone writes a memoir and changes names but keeps the truth intact. Anyone who was actually there knows exactly who each character represents. Anyone who witnessed the events recognizes the story despite the altered details. This person knows you're talking about the behavior pattern even though you never said a name. And the reaction to your truth is confirming everything you said. Creative expression is your outlet now. Maybe you're a content creator, maybe you make music, maybe you paint or write or perform. Whatever your medium, you're processing your pain and trauma and healing through it. And that authentic expression is resonating with others. It's giving them permission to examine their own toxic relationships. It's showing them what healthy boundaries look like. It's proving that walking away is not only possible but necessary. This person sees other people responding to your work, comments from strangers saying, "I needed to hear this, and this describes exactly what I went through," are visible. And it's creating internal chaos because the knowledge is there. Some of those people are known. Family might be watching your content, friends might be seeing your posts, and everyone is making connections. Dreams are happening, not romantic dreams, obsessive dreams, nostalgia mixed with fantasy, mixed with wishful thinking. A version of the relationship that never actually existed is being remembered. Moments that were actually painful are being romanticized. History is being rewritten in the mind to make one person the victim and you the villain. But there's something else underneath that, a feeling that can't be escaped, the feeling of never meaning enough to you, of not being seen the way the desire demanded, of watching you move on too quickly. And the observation is correct. You did move on quickly, not because the relationship meant nothing, but because you'd already been leaving emotionally long before you left physically. You were done trying to get emotional availability from someone who treated emotions like inconveniences. You were exhausted from attempting real conversations with someone who turned every discussion into a fight or a guilt trip. You were depleted from giving everything while receiving nothing that actually nourished you. So when you finally left physically, you'd already grieved, you'd already processed, you'd already made peace with the loss. That's why your exit looked so easy to external observers. That's why your transition looked so fast. You weren't starting your healing when you left, you were completing it. This person is not over you. But more accurately, the loss is not about you specifically, it's about the drama, the chaos, the dynamic where being the center of attention through creating crisis after crisis was possible. You brought something to this person's life that created addiction, not love, not connection, but supply, emotional supply, attention supply, energy supply, and when you cut off that supply, you left someone in withdrawal. Now the scrambling is for any way to get another hit, another response, another reaction, another moment where feeding off your energy becomes possible again. You're healed, not hooked. You achieved freedom, detachment, and clarity. Those aren't just words, those are actual states of being you reached through work that will never be done by this person, through shadow integration that will never be attempted, through accountability that will never be accepted. This person brings chaos into life because when you don't look at your shadow, you end up projecting it everywhere. You end up in relationships with people who mirror what you refuse to see in yourself. You end up creating the same problems in new situations because the real problem was never the other people, it was always internal. The emotional equipment to be in a relationship with someone as emotionally aware as you became simply doesn't exist in this person. The capacity to meet the needs of someone doing real healing work isn't there. So you ended up in this toxic dynamic where you kept growing and sabotage kept happening, you kept communicating and deflection kept occurring, you kept trying and blame kept landing on you. You lost someone who drained you. This person lost someone who could have facilitated transformation if the willingness to do the work had existed. You lost chaos. This person lost peace. You lost toxicity. This person lost the chance at something real. If this message awakens something within you, hype this video for other chosen ones who need to hear this. You're going through a shift, a massive change. This person is seeing it, and it's creating internal chaos. You've transformed into someone unrecognizable, someone powerful, someone who stepped into leadership, someone who's clearly aligned with purpose. The signs are with you. Everything's clicking. Doors are opening, opportunities are flowing, it's undeniable, and the desire is to believe it's luck, to believe it's fake, to convince the self that you're just putting on a show, but deep down the truth is known. You became the person you were always meant to be the moment you removed this person from your life. You're working hard, building something, creating something, manifesting something, and the observation is happening while the same patterns that drove you away continue. Attention is what's wanted now. Setting some record straight is the stated goal, but really, knocking you down a peg is the actual desire. Disturbing your peace is the real aim. Proving to the self that you're not really doing as well as you appear is the hidden agenda. Time for a change, to learn something new, to use technology and gadgets with wisdom. This is coming through strongly. Someone may need to learn about cybersecurity, because here's something revealing. This person is creeping on your profiles, following you under fake accounts, pretending to be other people. If you have any kind of social media presence, everything you post is being watched, but you're 10 steps ahead. You already know when weird energy is coming from a profile. You can feel it when observation is happening from someone who shouldn't be watching. You intuitively sense when that account opened recently with no picture is actually someone from your past, and you block it again and again and again. The belief is that stealth is happening, but you're operating from a level of awareness that can't be comprehended. You're tapped in, you're connected, you're guided, and that guidance keeps you protected from attempts to infiltrate your peace. It's all right to be alone. Count your blessings. These messages are coming through because this person may have sent something nasty to you, something hoping you stay single, something bitter about your appearance or your worth or your future, pure poison disguised as a message. But here's the beautiful part. A VPN isn't being used. Tracking was left open. Something sloppy was done that leaves a digital trail, and if someone wanted to look into this, if someone wanted to investigate, proof would be found. IP addresses, timestamps, evidence that your ex or that friend with uncomfortable feelings has been stalking you online. Grounds for a restraining order if needed. The sloppiness here is stunning, because consumption with watching you prevents clear thinking. Mistakes are being made, evidence is being left, a trail of obsession is being created that could be used if necessary. The dislike is strong about you opening the eyes of people around this individual. People are seeing differently now. People are recognizing behaviors. People are keeping distance, and the feeling is there. The isolation is felt. The judgment is sensed. The shift in perception is experienced. You never went on a campaign. You never created expose posts. You never tried to turn people against anyone. You simply spoke about your experience in universal terms. You talked about what emotional unavailability feels like. You described what manipulation looks like. You explained what it's like to finally choose yourself after losing yourself in someone else's chaos. And somehow everyone who knows this person heard you talking about specific behavior. That's not because you were obvious. That's because the pattern is so consistent that anyone who's encountered it recognizes it immediately. Your accuracy wasn't about calling someone out. Your accuracy was about describing a dynamic so precisely that it became undeniable to anyone who witnessed it. Think about what that means. You spoke general truths about toxic behavior, but those truths fit this person so perfectly that everyone in the circle knew exactly who embodied those behaviors. That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. Your words didn't create the truth. Your words revealed truth that was already there, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone brave enough to name it. The people around this person are experiencing cognitive dissonance right now. On one hand, this person has been known for a long time, defense has been given, excuses have been made, behavior has been rationalized, but on the other hand, everything you're saying resonates as deeply true. Everything you're describing matches what's been witnessed, but never acknowledged. That internal conflict is what's causing the awakening. People can only ignore their own intuition for so long. Overriding gut feelings can only happen for so many situations. Eventually, the accumulation of small red flags becomes impossible to deny. And your voice, your truth, your clarity became the permission needed to finally trust what had been sensed all along. This is why the accuracy is so devastating. It's not that lies are being spread, it's that truth is being spread that validates everyone else's hidden concerns. You became the voice saying out loud what everyone else was thinking privately. You became the confirmation of doubts people were trying to suppress. You became the validation of instincts people were taught to ignore. And there's nothing this person can do to fight truth. Character can be attacked, motives can be questioned, your voice can be discredited. But what people are seeing with their own eyes right now can't be disproven. Patterns can't be unseen once consciousness has been activated. Awareness can't be put back in the box once it's been opened. A collision of beliefs, styles, attitudes, and energies is happening. People are seeing this person as a manipulator now, and the hatred is strong that you can see what's being done even when you're not in the same space. How do you know what's happening? How can you speak so accurately about behavior when you're not there to witness it? Those who saw you as the villain in this story are waking up. The realization is happening that manipulation created that perception. The understanding is growing that you weren't the problem. You were the person who refused to participate in the dysfunction. And there's a massive difference. The signs are with you already. People are seeing this person fall to pieces. Observation is happening of anger when anyone mentions that time period of life. If someone brings up anything from when you were together, composure is lost. An eye starts twitching. The desire is to pretend those times didn't exist. Forced amnesia is wanted. Erasure of you from personal history is the goal. But that can't happen because too many people remember, Too many people were there, too many people witnessed the dynamic, and now those same people are seeing the same behavior patterns with new people, and dots are connecting. What's absolutely stunning people right now is the specificity of your accuracy. You described how this person responds when confronted. Weeks or months later, someone actually confronts this person about something, and the response comes exactly as you predicted, word for word, tactic for tactic, defense mechanism for defense mechanism. The person who confronted walks away thinking, how did they know? How did they call that so precisely? You described how this person treats people once the honeymoon phase ends. Now people are watching entry into that phase with someone new. And everything you said would happen is happening. The criticism starts. The nitpicking begins, the emotional distance grows, the gaslighting intensifies. Observers are watching it unfold like a script you wrote, being performed right in front of them. You talked about how this person handles being called out on behavior. Someone recently tried to have a genuine conversation about boundaries, and this person did exactly what you described, became the victim, turned the conversation around, made the other person apologize for bringing it up, made it impossible to address the actual issue. People who heard your description and then witnessed this interaction are absolutely floored by the accuracy. This is beyond just understanding patterns. This is prophetic level insight. This is being so attuned to someone's operating system that you can predict responses to situations you're not even present for. And that level of accuracy is what's creating the jaws to floor moments for everyone watching. The accuracy is undeniable because it's not based on opinion. It's based on patterns, behavioral patterns, psychological patterns, spiritual patterns. These patterns are consistent because people who refuse to grow keep repeating the same cycles. You became fluent in reading those cycles. And now you can spot them from a distance, predict them before occurrence, and explain them in ways that help others recognize them too. Here's what will never be understood. The belief exists that you're obsessed. The belief exists that you spend your time thinking about this person. The belief exists that your creative expression is some kind of revenge plot. But the truth is so much more devastating to the ego. You barely think about this person at all. You've processed, healed, and moved on. Your creative expression isn't about anyone specifically. It's about the universal experience of surviving toxicity and reclaiming your power. This person just happens to be such a textbook example of toxic behavior that when you describe the pattern, everyone recognizes the fit. That's not because you're focused on anyone specifically. That's because the predictability in dysfunction is so strong that every toxic trait you describe gets embodied. You're speaking about patterns. This person is living proof those patterns exist, and that realization is destroying the sense of uniqueness. The belief was in complexity. The belief was in being misunderstood. The belief was in being special in the suffering. But your accuracy revealed something that can't be accepted. The behavior is common. The behavior is predictable. The manipulation is textbook. The patterns are so standard that you could describe them without even naming anyone, and everyone still knows exactly who fits the description. Look, you already know the attacks weren't random, and if you're paying attention, you can feel it. Their walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve cooperative intelligence. Rewatchability. You don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and your subconscious is rewired while your enemies collapse under the weight of their own lies. This is why I created it in the beginning, so everything they did to break you becomes fuel for your purpose. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. It's all about money, manifestation, abundance, large payout. This person is very invested in how much money you're making. Maybe finances were always a concern. Maybe money was an issue in your dynamic. Maybe control through economic means was attempted. But now the observation is happening of you building wealth without this person. Your abundance is being seen, your financial opportunities are being witnessed, and it's destroying something internally. Some spiritual work may have been tried to affect you, burning petitions, working with energies, trying to send things your way. But of course it didn't work. Of course it failed, because you're not holding on to the pain caused. You released it, you healed it, you transformed it. So when attempts were made to hook into your energy, there was nothing to grab onto. There may have been something about finances relevant to the family situation. Family wishes coming true, but in reverse. Maybe the family was going to give something, money, property, support. But the more the family listens to you or sees your content, the more eyes are opening to who this person really is. This person might have told people you'd never make it without support. Predictions of your failure might have been made. Mutual friends might have been convinced that you were making a terrible mistake leaving. Now those same people are watching you succeed beyond what anyone imagined. Opportunities coming to you are being seen. Doors opening for you are being witnessed. Favor following you everywhere you go is being observed, and the accuracy of your assessment of the situation becomes undeniable. You said you needed to leave to grow. You grew. You said you needed space to find yourself. You found yourself. You said you needed freedom to build what you were meant to build. You built it. Every prediction you made about what would happen if you chose yourself came true, and every prediction this person made about what would happen if you left was proven false. That's prophetic accuracy right there. That's knowing yourself so well that you can predict your own trajectory. That's being so connected to your purpose that you can sense what's blocking it and what will unleash it. And you had the courage to bet on yourself even when everyone else was betting on the relationship. Now the evidence is overwhelming. Your life improved in measurable ways after leaving. That's not opinion, that's fact. Your mental health stabilized, your finances grew, your opportunities multiplied, your creativity flourished, your energy returned, your joy came back. Every single area of your life got better when you removed this person from it. The accuracy of your choice to leave is being proven daily. Every achievement you unlock confirms you made the right decision. Every level you reach validates your intuition. Every blessing you receive is evidence that you were supposed to walk away when you did. Your life is speaking truth louder than words ever could. Crown energy is lighting up. Soul star activation is happening. For those who don't know, these are higher consciousness centers. People in this person's life are experiencing awakening just by being around the contrast between your energy and theirs. Honestly, people are shocked. The belief can't be held that defense was given for so long. The belief can't be held that sides were taken so completely. The belief can't be held that you were blamed when you were actually the healthy one, trying to survive a toxic dynamic. This person could be a stay-at-home parent, someone who has time to obsess, time to stalk, time to create elaborate narratives, and distorted energy has been sent toward you. Not physical contact, energetic contact, attempts to infiltrate your dreams, attempts to make you think of this person, attempts to pull on your attention. It's really gross when you understand what's happening. The desire was for you to unblock. The belief was that manipulation back into your field was possible, but you're too protected, too aware, too elevated. Attempts hit walls that can't be seen, but can definitely be felt. What's happening right now is a mass awakening within this person's circle. It's not that you're recruiting people to your side, it's that your frequency is so clear, so authentic, so undeniably true, that it's activating the truth receptors in everyone who comes into contact with it. People are having spontaneous realizations about this person after consuming your content. Someone watches something you created about recognizing emotional manipulation. Later that day, this person tries to manipulate them, and for the first time it's seen happening in real time. The tactic is recognized, the pattern is identified, participation is refused. Your truth gave them the eyes to see what was always there. Another person hears you talk about what healthy boundaries look like. The realization hits that boundaries with this person have never existed. Invasions that should have been stopped were allowed. Disrespect that should have been rejected was tolerated. Your clarity showed them what they'd been accepting as normal was actually unacceptable. This is the consciousness activation that's happening. You're not telling people what to think about anyone. You're giving people frameworks for understanding toxic behavior in general, but because this person exemplifies those behaviors so consistently, everyone's applying those frameworks directly. Your teaching is generic, the application is specific, and that's why the accuracy is so shocking. The specificity of these awakenings is what's creating the jaws to floor reactions. You described what it feels like to have your reality denied. Someone experienced exactly that with this person within days of hearing you describe it. You explained how manipulators isolate their targets from support systems. Someone realized attempts have been made to do that for months. You detailed how certain people create drama to stay relevant. Someone recognized that crisis gets manufactured whenever attention shifts away. Your accuracy isn't just about predicting behavior. It's about naming experiences people have had but couldn't articulate. It's about validating feelings people felt but were told were wrong. It's about confirming instincts people had but were taught to doubt. You gave language to wordless unease. You gave shape to formless concern. You gave validation to dismissed intuition. And now people are trusting themselves again. Gut feelings are being listened to. Boundary needs are being honored. Emotional responses are being respected. This person is no longer allowed to gaslight them into doubting their own perceptions. Your example of trusting yourself gave them permission to trust themselves. This is why this person is absolutely losing composure right now. The entire relational strategy was built on other people doubting themselves, on others questioning their perceptions, on people ignoring their instincts. But you taught everyone in the circle how to trust themselves again. You showed them what it looks like to honor your truth, even when someone else denies it. You demonstrated that walking away from toxicity isn't giving up, it's waking up. Open your eyes, used and discarded. These messages keep coming through because people have just woken up. People are seeing who this person really is, and this person is going to try to find a way to contact you, but it won't be for the closure being claimed. It won't be for the conversation being pretended. It will be for control, for manipulation, for one more chance to make you doubt your reality. The desire doesn't exist to face what would need to be faced to truly evolve. The desire doesn't exist to look at the shadow material requiring integration. The desire doesn't exist to take the accountability that real healing requires. So the stuck state continues, the repeating continues, the creating of same dynamics over and over continues. Absence in a relationship, that's what you felt. Even when physical presence existed, emotional absence was there. Even when proximity was close, you felt alone. Even when talking was happening, you felt unheard. That absence is what drove you away, not a single dramatic event, not one huge betrayal, just the constant, grinding, soul-crushing experience of being in relationship with someone who isn't actually available for real connection. Watch your back. That message just came through clearly. But don't interpret that as fear. Interpret that as awareness. This person may make weakly veiled threats. Things designed to make you uncomfortable may be said, but there's no real danger here. There's just desperation. There's just manipulation. There's just someone trying to regain power, never actually held. Your accuracy in reading patterns has become legendary in the circle. People reference things you said seasons ago and marvel at how precisely events are playing out now. Someone will say, "Remember when they said this person always," and the group will nod knowingly because everyone has witnessed it since then. Your words have become prophetic in hindsight. This person is discovering that your assessment is now the commonly held view among people who know the situation. The narrative has shifted from one version to your version. Not because you campaigned for it, but because your version was accurate and the other version was fiction. Truth has a way of rising to the surface eventually. It just needed time and repeated patterns to make itself undeniable. What particularly devastating is that arguments can't be made against observable reality. Gaslighting can't work on people who are watching the behavior happen in real time. History can't be rewritten when people have their own fresh experiences that match your historical accounts. Your credibility increases with every prediction that comes true. The other credibility decreases with every lie that gets exposed. The tower represents structures built on false foundations, and this person's entire social image was a tower built on lies. Your truth was the earthquake that revealed the foundation was never solid. Now everyone can see the cracks, everyone can see the instability, everyone can see that what looked impressive from a distance was actually fragile up close. But your tower, your foundation is solid rock, built on truth, reinforced with integrity, secured by authenticity. Nothing can shake it because there's nothing false holding it up, no lies to maintain, no image to protect, no facade to preserve, just pure, solid, unshakable truth. That's why you're still standing while the other structure crumbles. People are choosing your stability over the chaos. People are choosing your truth over the fiction. People are choosing your peace over the drama. And this person is watching influence dissolve while yours expands, watching the circle shrink while yours grows, watching power diminish while yours magnifies. This is the reward for merit you're receiving, recognition for the work you did, validation for the path you chose, confirmation that trusting yourself was the right decision. The universe is showing you that it sees you, it knows what you survived, it honors how you healed, and it's rewarding you with everything that was said you'd never have. Your truth has been uncovered, not by you revealing it dramatically, but by you living it so authentically that lies couldn't survive in your presence. Your power has been reclaimed, not through force, but through the quiet strength of someone who knows their worth and refuses to negotiate it. Your destiny has been activated, not because you're special in some ego way, but because you're aligned in a soul way. The people who doubted you are seeing the truth. The ones who believed lies are waking up. The system built to support false narratives is collapsing. And you didn't have to do anything but keep being you. Keep healing, keep growing, keep choosing yourself, keep honoring your truth, keep protecting your peace. That's the power you hold, that's the gift you carry, that's the impact you make. And the person trying so desperately to reach you, just a reminder of how far you've come, how much you've grown, how completely you've transformed, a representation of everything you're no longer willing to tolerate, everything you've healed beyond, everything you've released. So let the watching happen from whatever fake account gets created next. Let the obsessing happen from whatever distance gets maintained. Let whatever desperate message gets crafted be sent, because none of it changes the fundamental truth of your reality. You're free. You're thriving, you're protected, you're guided, you're chosen, and nothing done, nothing said, nothing attempted can ever change that. Your jaws to floor truth has been revealed. Not through drama, not through exposure, not through revenge, but through the simple, powerful, undeniable act of living authentically after surviving inauthenticity. That's the accuracy that can't be handled. That's the truth that's breaking down the facade. That's the reality that's spreading through the circle like wildfire. You didn't just walk away, you walked into your destiny, and everyone who has eyes to see can see it. Everyone who has ears to hear can hear it. Everyone who has consciousness to understand can understand it. The chosen ones recognize each other. The healed ones celebrate each other. The awakened ones support each other. And you, standing in your truth, living in your power, walking in your purpose, you are undeniable proof that toxic relationships don't define you, failed connections don't diminish you, past pain doesn't determine you. You are who you choose to become after the storm, and you chose strength, you chose peace, You chose yourself. This is who you are. This is what you do. This is why letting go is so difficult for this person, not because you were so amazing in the life you shared, but because your absence revealed how amazing you always were, and blindness prevented seeing it. Now everyone sees it. Now the truth is undeniable. Now the accuracy of what you uncovered about behavioral patterns is confirmed by ongoing demonstration, and all you had to do was leave, heal, grow, and live your truth. That's the ultimate victory. That's the final word. That's the ending that was never seen coming. You won by refusing to play. You succeeded by choosing peace. You triumphed by becoming untouchable. Stay there, in that elevated place, in that protected space, in that powerful truth, because chosen one, your story isn't about what you survived. It's about what you became because you survived it, and what you became is absolutely magnificent. The accuracy of your perception was always your superpower. The clarity of your vision was always your gift. The precision of your discernment was always your strength. You saw what others missed. You recognized what others denied. You understood what others couldn't comprehend, and that accuracy saved your life. Now that same accuracy is saving others. Your ability to name dysfunction is helping people escape it. Your capacity to describe manipulation is helping people recognize it. Your skill in articulating toxicity is helping people heal from it. You became the teacher by being the student. You became the guide by being the seeker. You became the lighthouse by surviving the storm. So when that message arrives, if it arrives, you'll know exactly what it is. Not a genuine reach for connection, not a sincere attempt at closure, but a desperate grab for supply, a manipulative play for attention, a final attempt to regain control that was never actually possessed. And you'll handle it the way you handle everything now, with clarity, with boundaries, with the unshakable peace of someone who knows their worth and won't compromise it for anyone. This is who you've become. This is the power you've claimed. This is the freedom you've earned. And no one from your past, no matter how desperately reaching, can ever take it away from you again. You are the accuracy. You are the truth. You are the living proof. And your light shines so bright that darkness has no choice but to retreat. Keep shining, chosen one. Keep speaking. Keep living your truth. The world needs your light. Your tribe needs your wisdom. Your purpose needs your presence. And the person trying to reach you, that person needs to learn that some doors once closed stay closed. Some chapters once ended stay ended. Some people once chosen for yourself stay chosen. And you chose you, finally, completely, permanently. And that choice changed everything.